Hello there, this is DBT and these are the rooms. And alright, let's continue playing some more Asphalt 8, and today we're gonna be talking about the new car hunt that just started today and also the racing pass that started a couple of days ago, because both of these things are interesting to look at, though one more than the other. And given the car that you see on the screen right now, you may have figured out that I'm gonna be talking about the McLaren Senna GTR. No, not this one, it's the other one in the car hunt because I don't own it. But anyway, before I jump into it, you know what to do. Hit the like button, subscribe. When you do that, you tell YouTube this is worth recommending, and that allows the channel to grow. So go ahead, do it for DBT. But alright, like I just mentioned, there is a very interesting car hunt for the McLaren Senna GTR. Now, if you recall, this is a car that was available in a Treasure Rush not too long ago, a few months ago. And in fact, you may have seen this car in multiplayer quite a bit because apparently it's a very, very properly strong car. It's of the rank of 1862, so it's in the highest rank of the game, leaving aside obviously the GTR Absolute. But apparently the performance overall of this car is absolutely bonkers, like really good at just about everything. Like not necessarily that every single stat of the car is king level, but you know, the average of the car is really good. So, because of that, a lot of people have been using this car in multiplayer, and well, what can I say? I haven't tested it myself, I haven't played it in multiplayer because I don't own this car. But I'm actually considering buying it because, man, this thing looks absolutely bonkers. You know that I love racing looking cars, and if I already like the Senna because of the big wing, this is like the race version of the regular Senna. That is what it actually is IRL. While the Senna, it's a track focused but still road legal car, this is straight up the race version of that car. So that's why it has additional aero and all of that stuff. Just because of the look is why I'm interested in this car. Sure, if it performs great, that's good, but you know that I'm not like that. I prefer cars that, or rather I prefer looks than performance when it comes to this game. So this thing having both of them, well, though honestly, if it's really as spammed as I've seen it, I don't know that I would be too happy to drive it. But anyway, so yeah, that is the car for the car hunt, and by the way, it does have some color options, which always makes me happy, because I hate when they only have literally one single color, but anyway. Now, what's worth mentioning about this car hunt, and it's been that way since this last update, the car hunts changed a little bit on how they were before, and I actually think that nowadays are a bit more worth it than they were in the previous several months. And that is because, yeah, sure, you have to pay the premium in order to acquire the car, in this case being the 20 bucks. And by the way, let me say it again, I'm not trying to convince anybody to spend money in the game, alright? I'm just presenting you what's out there and my thoughts on it, but if you don't like spending in the game, don't take this as me saying, oh, you should spend on the game. No, if you're good as free-to-play, go for it, more power to you. But this is only for people who are interested. But anyway, so like I was saying, you have to pay the premium for the car, which is $20, which in my opinion is kind of ouch, because I liked more when the car hunts were $10, to be completely honest, but anyway. So you pay the premium and you're able to unlock the car right away. Now, where I said that things have changed is that before you were only able to get the discount if you made it to tier 25. And like I said a bunch of times, and by the way, discount, I mean the upgrading discount for this car, where instead of costing $250,000 to apply every single upgrade, it would be half of that. So that would be on tier 25, but as I always said, that was completely useless, because in order to get to tier 25, you can't get there naturally. And you needed to perform really good in the coin cups, and at that point you already need to have the car pro, so it was pointless. But now this actually changed, and you can get the coupon at tier 12, which is actually very easy to get to by just doing your regular daily tasks. And by the way, since I'm not 100% convinced as to whether or not I'm gonna go for it, I'm still gonna claim my daily coins just because, hey, I would like to make as much progress as possible. But yeah, getting to tier 12, it's not a problem just by doing the daily tasks. So with that, you will be able to get the coupon for the upgrade discount coupon, Jesus Christ, in order to do that. So that's pretty good, because instead of costing 10 million to upgrade, now it's only gonna be 5 million. Then again, nowadays you can get so many fusion coins thanks to the relay ads that, well, you can see I have held off on spending my fusion coins because I just want to get to the 100,000 just to say, hey, I got there. But anyway, that's something else. So yeah, overall, I think if you're interested in a car that apparently it's very performing, and I say apparently, everyone says that it is. I haven't tested it myself, so that's why I want to make it, clear that I'm not endorsing this as being as amazing as people say it is. It may be, it may very well be, but I just don't know. But yeah, if you want a car that apparently is really good performing, well, there's the opportunity. You don't have to spend $150 like you had to do in the Treasure Rush. And in fact, there's a bit of a conversation to be had about the treasure rush and these cars that are not showing up like that. But I'll talk about that later once we do a couple of races in this video. For now, I want to jump into the other topic. And for that, I am back to my beginner account because I wanted to have a look at the racing pass itself. Now, obviously, I have to do it on my beginner account because in my other account, I already have all of the cars offered over here, so it doesn't show. So I wanted to show it to you how it would look if you don't have this car. So, as usual, on the left side is going to be the free rewards, you know, literally free. And over here are going to be the premium rewards for which you have to pay the premium in order to get it. So, what do we get over here? Well, it's the normal stuff, right? You get, and by the way, me saying the normal stuff, it's not just being like, oh, whatever. No, I've always said that all things considered, this is a relatively good deal in terms of, you know, getting your bike, which is not fantastic, which is actually kind of very difficult to use, but also getting an ultimate upgrade, being able to upgrade any car from 0 to hero, super useful. You get an outfit, you get some direct upgrades, always useful, and some storage. So basically the story is the same as you have seen them, right? I'm just gonna go page by page in case you're curious to see what it is. But then again, it's the normal stuff. What it's interesting is to see what cars are available this time. And for one, we have the Vencer Sarth, which is a Class C car, rank of 1497, which makes me think this is one of those cars that hasn't been rebalanced. So I cannot swear by the performance of this car. I do own it, but I have never upgraded it. So maybe I should do that and test it out at some point. Let me know in the comments if you would like me to test out the Vencer Sarth in multiplayer. But that is the first car. Once again, I'm not sure of the performance. I would imagine it's not going to be great performance because it doesn't seem rebalanced. If it was rebalanced, instead of 97, it would be 98 or higher. But anyway, then over here we got the usual stuff, right? Some parts, some currencies, direct upgrades, all good. Over here we got the Acura NSX GT3 Evo, which used to be a long time ago king of Class B of specifically of this bracket, or one of the kings, I would say. Nowadays, while it's still being somewhat useful, somewhat strong, is nothing amazing. And now that this particular bracket is so completely overrun by the annoying spam-tleys, the Bentleys that are super spammed, yeah, no matter what car you use, unless it's the Bentley, really is not gonna be all that great performing. But anyway, that is a thing that I wish Gameloft would address, because seriously, that car has completely ruined that bracket. So many cool cars in that bracket, and you just can use them if you want to be the most competitive. But anyway, moving on, we got same thing, right? Currency, parts, and whatnot. And finally over here is where we get first the Neo EP9, which is a car that has been relatively rare in the game because it has been, I think, mostly paid to win. I think a couple of times has gone for sale for tokens, but for the most part, yeah, this is not a common car. You're not gonna see it often. And while being electric, I've actually learned to like this car a little bit, though not like this. In games where there is active aero, meaning where the aero parts pop off, you know, in this case the wing. Oh man, this wing is absolutely, look at it from above. It's just bonkers how big this wing is. So it can look pretty dope, but anyway. So yeah, rare car. How does it perform? I have no idea, but given the rank of 1770 being at the middle of the top of the bracket, I would say it's probably gonna be an okay car, if at that. And then finally, the main car is gonna be the Lykan Halloween edition. Now, here's where I think that people are weird, because nowadays people are calling this car mid. How? I don't understand. It's a very good car. It is legit very properly good. It accelerates pretty good. It handles pretty good. It drifts pretty good. The nitro is pretty good. Nothing, once again, similar to what I was saying about the Senna GTR, probably none of these singular stats is going to be king level, but it's the sum of all parts that make this car very strong. But hey, for some reason people now call this mid. I don't get it. People are just weird. If not king to people means bad, which is a terrible way of looking at things, but anyway. So yeah, you can get the Lykan Halloween edition. Very cool car, though it doesn't have the decal for Halloween, though probably you can probably buy it. Oh yeah, you can buy it for some vouchers, but that's obviously spending more currency, more actual money in order to do it. Now the changes obviously just it adds some additional accents in orange. I think it does look cool, better than this. This is just very plain, just in black. With this, at least it adds a little bit of flavor, but I wouldn't necessarily recommend you to spend however much you have to spend in order to get 200 vouchers. But anyway, so that is the offer for the Racing Pass. Oh, by the way, in the free car, it's the Renault Zoe eSport concept. 1230 rank, honestly, no idea. I do own this car, but once again, I don't have it upgraded, so who knows how this performs. So that is the racing pass. I think it's as usual, I think it's a pretty decent offer. The price for this thing is, I believe this is $15. It's $15, so it's cheaper than a car hunt. And once again, with this, you can get a really strong car. I don't know, okay car, in this case, I don't know. But then again, you do get the bike, which is terrible. You get the ultimate upgrade. You get a bunch of direct upgrades, and along with some additional storage in the inventory. So overall, I think it's a good value given the prices of the game. Now, given that I don't own the McLaren Senna GTR, well, I jumped into some multiplayer with the regular Senna because, hey, at least it's somewhat topical. But yeah, I wanted to talk a little bit about the situation with the treasure rushes and the car hunts, how it is a bit of a mixed situation, at least in my head, but in a way, it's probably a good one. Now, for the longest time since the introduction of treasure rushes, I have complained that is a thing that I don't like. Now, I overall used to say that I don't like treasure rushes until someone was like, DBT, but it's actually pretty good in order to get, I mean, if you're focusing on the car, yeah, it's a bad thing. But if you're using your dice just to get some direct upgrades, the treasure rushes are actually a really good thing. And that's when I was like, oh, you know what? This person is correct. For the direct upgrades and all that, yeah, treasure rushes are good. But when it comes to the car, that's where it's like, oh boy, it's near impossible to acquire the car through luck in that thing. And then if you really want to guarantee getting the car, you need to spend a whole bunch of money in order to do that. How much? Well, we've talked about it before, $150, which is an incredibly high price for a car in a video game. So it is absolutely bonkers. And listen, I've gone for it a couple of times before because it was cars that I really wanted and whatnot. But nowadays, since quite a while back, actually, you know what? It was precisely for the Senna GTR. The Senna GTR was the first car that I really wanted on the treasure rush, but given my my financial situation, I'm like, you know what? I don't feel comfortable right now spending $150 on one single car, so I'm not gonna do it. And that's when I stopped buying them. In that way, I also skipped completely on the Lamborghini STO, which is, again, you know how much of a Lambo collector I am. So that kind of hurt me because in that way, okay, I got defeated by the Bayern, but beat everything else. Nice. Now, granted, this is Master Season, keep that in mind. But you know that I'm a massive Lamborghini fanboy, so I wanted to collect all of the Lambos, and I have all of them but that one, because once again, I was like, you know what? I don't think I should be spending this money anymore in this car. So that's why I said that the treasure rush have been a bad thing. But now, Gameloft, what has been doing lately, is precisely making the cars available after treasure rush, after a certain amount of time. They make them available in another update as a car hunt or another way. Maybe just selling it directly for money, though I don't think I've seen that. I think it's mostly in car hunts. And there's something to be said about, like, oh my god, Gameloft is just making people waste their money if you can get it cheaper for later. To a certain degree, yeah, you could say that, but I also see it in a different way, where it's like, I mean, if someone is really and this is gonna sound bad, it is kind of bad, because in the end, it's sort of a manipulation tactic, but hey, Gameloft, what it's doing is putting a fancy new toy for really expensive. And it's like, you want a toy now? You have to spend a lot if you want to get it now. You can get it later, probably, but it's gonna take a while. But if you want it now, you know, that is kind of the manipulation that is happening right now. And I think by now everybody can see through it, and I don't think Gameloft is trying to hide it. I think Gameloft is just embracing it, like, hey, listen, if you want the car right now, spend $150. If you want it late, if you can wait for it later, then wait for it. It'll come later on. And that is the case with the Senna GTR. Because once again, oh good, that car, it's apparently, once again, apparently, though just about everybody confirms that the Senna GTR is an incredibly strong car in the game. So it's something that a lot of people are probably gonna want to get. And well, if they couldn't wait for it, then they may have paid $150 for it, but now you can get it for cheaper, and that is a good thing. And for example, I'm kind of holding off precisely in thinking that it's gonna be the same for the Lambo that I just mentioned, the STO, which I didn't get, and oh god, I'm fine. Which is a car that I definitely wanted, but I wasn't willing to spend $150. Now, like I said, Jesus Christ, it's still $20. I'm not super comfortable paying that. But you know what? Better 20 than 150. So that's something to mention about it. So Yeah, I think it's a good lesson to have in general in this game for the time being. For the time being, I should probably clarify that for the time being. We don't know that this is always going to be the case, but so far, I think it's a good thing for us players, the mid spenders, not wanting to spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars on the game every month or whatever. For the mid spenders to be like, okay, well, this is not as expensive as it was originally, so, and I do want this car, so I might go for it. Like I said, I'm actually considering really seriously if I should get the Senna GTR, because once again, I do like the car's look a lot. And like I said, I did go for a few of the treasure rushes, going absolutely crazy and paying the $150 for a few cars. And actually, now that I think about it, that's when at some point it was like a slap in the face when I spent a lot of money on the, what was it, the Mercedes-Benz, what is it, AMG GT Black Series. I went for it on the treasure rush, and well, I always knew that it wasn't a great car, but I do like a lot how the car looks, so I went for it. And then very soon after, that thing was also available in a car hunt, and I was like, that was like the very last drop, you know? And I was like, okay, you know what? Yeah, this isn't worth it anymore. The cars are coming up later, because let's remember that at some point we weren't even sure that this was the case, right? Treasure Rush have been in the game for a while. And the Treasure Rush cars being available started, I believe, I mean, the Treasure Rush, all the Treasure Rush cars being available in different ways started happening, I believe, earlier this year. So for a little bit, I was like on the fence, being like, is this gonna be a common thing, or did this just happen because of an oversight, or I don't know. I wasn't sure. But once I saw that it was really becoming a pattern is when I was like, okay, you know what, that's it. No more Treasure Rushes for me. And yeah, I took that L. Well, honestly, a bunch of fat L's with all the treasure rushes that I went for. But hey, listen, I'm the type of person to not have regrets. I do what I do, and I just live with what happened. That's it. No point in being like, oh my God, I could have done it. Nah, whatever. It is what it is. But yeah, in the same way, well, you live and learn, and now I have learned to just wait until the cars are available in a different way. First place, robot! And yeah, now I have the opportunity to get the Senna GTR. The question is, should I get the Senna GTR? Oh, look at that, I beat a GTR Absolute. Let's go. See, regular Senna Absolute killer. So, once again, the question is, should I get this car, the Senna GTR? Why don't you let me know in the comments? Actually, let's make it the key phrase for today. It can be one of two. It can be, yes, DBT, go for the Senna GTR and make videos on it. Or the other key phrase could be, no, DBT, don't spend your money on the car. Those are going to be the key phrases. I want to see what you guys think about it. I'm thinking like, hey, I could possibly get it and, you know, make some MP-tune videos for the car, because it does have a considerably low rank. I think you can start doing MP-tunes from 1410 brackets. So 14, well, it's a bunch of brackets right in between. So I could make a bunch of videos on that. So why don't you let me know if you would like me to do that, and well, that'll give me a reason to continue making videos, or rather, to make some videos on that car in particular, and that gives me the, oh God, the pretext to be like, well, people wanted to see some videos on this, what can I do? Now, there is some rumors as to other car hunts that are coming later. Obviously, I cannot confirm or deny anything because it hasn't been announced officially, but apparently there might be some other interesting car hunts coming in the future, so, ooh, I don't know. I might end up spending a bunch of money, so that's why I'm a little bit on the fence as to whether or not I should do it, but anyway, once again, if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe, and all of that good stuff, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye!